Greetings and salutations. Grace unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. This is Wesley Webb, pastor of the Grace Baptist Church in Greater Downtown Metropolitan, McBee, South Carolina, and welcome to the Higher Grounds Podcast and today's Morning Minute Meditation. Now I'm interested today in Genesis chapter 7, verse 11 through 13, where the Bible said, "In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And of course, you know the story. This is Noah and the flood. Down in verse 21 and 22, the Bible said, "And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died." Now, every single human being that was not on the ark died. They missed the boat and perished. They missed the boat even though they had a man. Genesis chapter 6, verse 8 through 9 tells us that Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, that Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. So they had a man that lived right before them who was a godly example. Yet they perished even though they had a man. They perished even though they had a method. Genesis chapter 6, verse 13 and 14, God tells Noah, "The end of all flesh has come before me. Earth is filled with violence. I will destroy them from the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood." Then he goes on in verse 14, 15, and 16 to tell Noah how to make it. And then verse 17 and 18, that he's bringing a flood of waters upon the earth, and so on. You see, they had a method. They had a means whereby they might escape pending judgment and doom. But they perished even though they had a man. They perished even though they had a method. And they perished even though they had a message. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse number 5 tells us of Noah that he was a preacher of righteousness. You see, God gave them a man, God gave them a method, and God gave them a messenger with a message as to how to be saved. They perished even though they had a man. They perished even though they had a method, and they perished even though they had a messenger. I implore you today, if you're not saved, don't miss the boat. We're all going to die someday. Jesus is coming soon. And either way, we're going to spend eternity somewhere, and we'll all stand before God someday. The only way to be spared is to be saved. Don't miss the boat. Well, that's all for today's Morning Minute Meditation. Y'all have a great day, and remember, it is what it is.